And what is going on, everybody? How are you doing today? Me? It's another day. In paradise? No, but I am alive. And that is what we all strive for. To live each and every day that we can. So, I went to play the Division 2 today and noticed there was a fairly hefty update. And it turns out the newest patch for Division 2 sets a stage for the first raid. And it's been, a multi-week delay. Operation Dark Hour has finally been able to land in the next couple days, May 16th. Now, the new raid update also does impact the rest of the Division 2. There's a new vendor for crafters, new commendations to earn, and a host of balance changes. And that's pretty awesome. Operation Dark Hour is the first ever raid for the Division 2. It's the most anticipated new feature for the franchise. So everyone has been waiting. Everyone is ready to get on. Now, Operation Dark Hours does hit live servers on Thursday, May 16th, but it requires a gear score of 500. There are also classified assignments for Division 2's Year 1 Pass owners. You'll get to unlock your first 2 exclusive missions in this patch. They tell the story of how DC fell back to the Black Tusk. And players who complete the missions can earn backpack trophies to wear around the world. That, to me, is not the most thrilling. I don't really care about a damn trophy on my backpack. But, some people might be fans of it. Others might not. There's also crafting improvements. Players' backpacks are getting pretty crammed with materials. Some massive has expanded receiver component and protective fabric capacity significantly. Inaya Al-Khalik also acts as a crafting vendor now. Ooh. Now you can buy specialized superior skill mod blueprints from her, as well as completing a weekly bounty. And all exotic item upgrades will gain the maximum power possible depending on the level of the crafting bench. Now that, for those who like to craft, I'm a craft guy typically in just regular RPGs. In Division, I notice I don't craft as much as I should or could. So I'm definitely going to have to get back in the game of crafting, back in the game of going out and hunting for all those crafting materials and getting all my mats up. There's also been loot updates. The Division 2's loot containers now reset at a specific time every day. So instead of 24 hours after opening. They've also improved the loot from drone helicopters while decreasing the loot quality from clan caches. Key cabinets now hold Dark Zone keys as well. And some of the biggest changes come as consistency updates. Certain mission enemies won't drop loot under the player's max level anymore. And it has a better chance of dropping higher than the player if they're still trying to reach 500 power level. And more about the Operation Dark Hours. It's going to be a first ever 8-player raid. Think about that. 8 fucking players. That is insane. That is insane. What do you think about them doing, an 8-player raid? Something that I don't think there was. I don't remember there being in Division 1. I got out of it for a while and then came back in. So I might have just missed it. Now, one thing my cousin and I were talking about is the Dark Zone. Sorry, allergies have been kicking my ass. But in the Dark Zone, It is a little frustrating that, 4 players can come and wipe your solo playing ass out and level you down. I definitely think that they should figure out a way to fix that. I just don't see that being very enticing for people to go into the DZ. Maybe make it where it's solo players and solo players, teams and teams, or just make it where you don't drop so drastically in level. Maybe make it so many deaths and you drop a level as opposed to just dying once and the shit happening. I don't know. I'm not a pro at developing games, but I think that would be a lot better. Now, when it comes to a little more detail about the crafting, there is an increased base cap for receiver components and protective fiber materials by 200. So their caps now start at 350 and end at 600 with all material capacity perks. They added specialized and superior skill mod blueprints in her stock, an extra weekly blueprint to her stock, moved crafting blueprints from the base of operation vendor to her stock. So, that's pretty cool. As far as gear goes, bonus armor granted on blue attribute gear significantly increased. Armor percent can now be found as defense attribute rolls. Health percent can now be found as defense attribute rolls. Gear sets, there's hardwired, now grants skill damage instead of shock duration. Ongoing directive, now grants special ammunition into any weapon including the weapon currently equipped. Now grants special ammunition on any kill, not just weapon kills. True Patriot, which is decreased debuff cycle from 4 seconds to 2 seconds. Increased damage dealt to nearby targets when full flag is active to 50%. Loot containers will now reset at a preset time of the day. Control point reward container will now also reset with this daily timer. Improve quality and quantity of drone helicopter loot. Slightly reduce the quality of items from clan caches. Cabinet loot now have the chance to contain dark zone keys. Increased ammunition drop from enemy NPCs to limit situations where players would run out of ammunition during prolonged fights on higher difficulty activities. Dark zone contaminated loot does not drop below players' average gear score and will guarantee gear score 500 when the players reach gear score 500. Heroic difficulty mission bosses, stronghold bosses, bounty bosses, and heroic control point reward containers will guarantee gear score 500 when the player has reached 500. Loot now skews more towards the top end of its allowed gear score, resulting in fewer items below a player's average gear score. Increase the rewards for daily hard and challenge mission projects, and they will guarantee gear score over 500 when the players reach gear score 500. So as you can see, there have been a hell of a lot, a hefty amount of changes, and it makes you wonder where it's all going to go from here. It's very tough to say, are people going to fall in love with this raid? Are they going to hate the raid? Are they going to fall in love with all the updates? Are they going to hate them? We never know. People can get nitpicky over the most pathetic shit. And that goes, in as far as life goes in general. You just never know. You never know what's going to happen in the game. You never know who's going to like what, who's going to complain about what. Someone might be happy and then they don't get what they want as far as gear goes, and then they're pissy about it and want another update. It's a fucking game. If they just all came out complete and all kinds of crazy shit, wouldn't have to worry about this shit. But that is the state of gaming today. It's not the state of gaming yesterday. It's not the state of gaming back in the day when I was a fucking kid and times were a whole hell of a lot easier when it came to gaming. It's just the way things are these days. But I don't know. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the Division 2, Let me know what you think about the update. Let me know if you think they're lacking stuff. As far as things go for me, I'm still hoping they bring out that specialist with a Gatling gun, because that will be mine. I'm a huge fan of light machine guns, Gatling guns, anything of that nature, so that would be mine. I would destroy and annihilate everybody. But you, awesome people out there, don't forget to stay nerdy, stay geeky, and most of all, my crazy fucking friends out there, stay geeky. And yes, I did say geeky twice, because I want you to know geeky is the way to be. But never forget the most important piece to any puzzle, and that is to stay retro as fuck.